everybody, it's Uncle Scott. Welcome back to the QwerkyReax channel. My intro is going to be a little bit different today. I want to address some things that happened yesterday. I will say I do chapter my videos, so if you want to jump right to the documentary reaction, feel free to do that. Just use the scroll bar and get over to it. I will be watching it in its entirety today. I did watch it in its entirety yesterday, but I cut it up a little bit for time, actually for the audience, which turned out to be not what everybody wanted. So I heard you in the comments, and I'm going to watch it in its entirety today. Wanted to address, though, first of all, I think there was a lot of miscommunication yesterday on my part. I'm the one communicating to you through the video. So it seems like how I delivered my message could have been interpreted to be negative, which was not my intent. I really enjoyed the documentary. I said as much at the end. I really enjoyed the work that went into it. I really enjoyed finding out all these interesting things about Psyche. So I realized not a lot of you made it that far into the documentary to hear that, because as soon as I said one negative thing, you were out of there, and I completely understand. I am as equally passionate about things I'm a fan of, things I'm passionate about. I totally get it. Not my intent. I want to say right off the bat, Orange, I think that's how you say their name, the creator of these documentaries, mad respect for them for putting all of this together. Doing something like this takes a lot of work, takes a lot of research, coordinating it all, especially if it's not something you do all the time. Starting from scratch on a project like this shows real dedication and real passion, and I love it. Someone in one of the comments yesterday, they were very nice and very kind and understood that I was trying to give constructive criticism. I wasn't being like overly negative. I was trying to say, oh, like as a filmmaker, as someone who does this, this is how I would do that. So I appreciate that. Evil Ducks 3710. And they said, oh, Renge, again, I think that's the way you said it, say it, is in the process of remaking them to update it because he got better. That's awesome. I love that this documentary creator is taking the time to develop the craft and wanting to tell the stories in new and better ways. That's awesome. And if they saw my video yesterday and were offended, I deeply apologize. Not my intent. I doubt they saw it, but if they did, because I did tag them, because I believe they should get the credit for doing it. Or if you know them and could deliver the message that I meant no shade, if you're seeing this one, please let that be known. Also, if they are in the process of remaking these and want any help at all, I would be honored to help out. Not that they need my help, just as someone who has been doing this for over a quarter of a century. I read another comment where a person, or actually many comments, and then I stopped reading them, where people were like, who are you to have a opinion on how to do filmmaking? If you don't know my history, I get it. If you didn't watch the whole video where I said, like, there's posters of, documentaries I've done that have literally won national awards. I get it. You think I'm just some random YouTube guy spouting off. That's not how I see it. And also, I'm not trying to spout off. I really was trying to add some insight into how documentaries are created, and I clearly went about it the wrong way. Was not my intent, did not mean to offend anybody, and I'm sorry that it was taken that way. I am going to watch more of these. I know a lot of people said they wouldn't watch my channel ever again, or they're just done with me, as if this has been happening quite a lot. I don't know what that's referring to, but so they're probably not watching this one. And I'm sorry to see them go for no other reason, not for views, not for money, but for just, I really enjoy the music community and the positivity that we've built here. So I think that stinks. They'll be missing out, and I don't want them to. If you are watching this one again, and maybe, I get it, maybe even started out by spite watching this one just to be like, oh, here's this guy going to do it again. Thank you for coming back. And I think you'll see that we're going to watch the one in its entirety today, because I did see this one person leave a comment, and this was such a great way to put it. I was really appreciative of this. They said, Scooter6958 said, "Sorry, mate, chopping the documentary up like you have has killed the whole reason for it. I really appreciate the tone of this and the like, hey, I think you missed the mark here without even realizing it." Again, I chopped it up for time because I thought the audience wouldn't want to see the whole thing like that because they've already watched it. Kind of like a movie reaction. If you've ever watched movie reactions on YouTube, you can't just play the whole thing. And that's how I approached it. I won't today. Going to play the whole thing in its entirety. It's actually an easier edit for me, if I'm being honest. So it's a win-win for everybody. He or she ended the comment by saying, if you carry on doing these documentaries, please, 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 please show it all. Love that. Love the tone of that. Love the passion of that. And that is how we're going to do it today. For the next one, I did choose the Kanami Doc. And here's why. Bad Llama was the one who suggested I do the Psyche Doc. They donated to the Buy Me a Coffee and said, hey, check this one out, which threw it to the top of the list. And then BM for Life, who had donated earlier this week to get me to watch a Band Maid music video. So thank you so much for that. Then said, Bad Llama, I'll see your Psyche and raise you a Kanami, and put the link to today's documentary in there. Love that. Also, thank you again so much for the support. You bought me like 5 breaks for this. I really appreciate it, and can definitely use the money. So I greatly appreciate it. So I say we get to this one. I'm going to watch it in its entirety, guys. I will have to stop it here and there, as I'm sure you know. But this should be a lot of fun.
Welcome to Kanagawa Prefecture in the Tokyo area, a mixture of heavily urbanized areas, farmlands, and mountains, punctuated by the tourist destinations of Kamakura, Enoshima, and Hakone. Its capital, Yokohama, is the second biggest city in Japan and a port city, well known all over the world. Kanami was born in this prefecture near Yokohama on September 28th.
So 2 things right away. 1, I really need to go to Japan because it looks amazing. And 2, I'm really happy that I've been saying her name right. I've been saying Kanami, and that's how you say it. So I'm glad about that too.
Being the youngest child of her family with an older brother and sister. As both of her siblings were already learning piano, Kanami's mother asked her to learn piano as well. But she also liked to borrow and play with her brother's airsoft gun. Her parents wanted Kanami to try various activities like ballet, calligraphy, and English, to name a few. Over the years, Kanami continued to learn piano as she has a natural talent for it and really loves playing. A passion that she shared multiple times on social media.
That's really cool. I said this yesterday too. I love when they show the old, like the old school video, so you get to see where they're coming from, you know, and that they've been doing this for a while. That's one of the really cool things about social media, or one of the benefits, I would say, because a lot of people, you know, put down social media. But one of the cool things for people that like have a talent from, you know, such a young age, when they're not as old as I am, you get to see how long they've had this talent, because you get to see them and their process and they're growing. And that's really, really cool.
Kanami confessed that from her childhood to her junior high school years, she only listened to classical music and was very influenced by Chopin. Kanami plays piano for the introduction of the song Start Over. She also performed the introduction of Daydreaming on piano live multiple times. In her interviews, Kanami describes herself as tenin in Japanese, which is translated as natural funny man. Tenin literally means nature or natural. The word has been shortened from tenin boke. In Japan, there is a traditional comedy act known as manzai, where the humor comes from the interaction between a straight man and a funny man, not unlike the double act comedy in the West with Laurel and Hardy, for example.
Yo, I was just about to say Laurel and Hardy or Abbott and Costello. That's really funny. That that was some brainwave stuff right there. That's crazy.
Or Abbott and Costello.
Bro! Yo, that's hilarious. I've never seen these before. That's some serious brainwave stuff right there. By the way, this is a screenshot, a clip from Who's on First. If you've never seen Who's on First, it's very old-timey. Please. And it's like super long too. I think it's like 12 minutes. Watch it. It is comedy genius, and it shouldn't be, and it's hilarious. Who's on First is like legendary comedy. It's like a building block for all wordplay comedy. Definitely check it out. I love that. Yo, Wrench, we're channeling each other, man, or woman or person. Like we're same vibe. That was really funny.
The funny man being the comic character as opposed to the straight man in this comedy duo.
メンバークイズ出題してくれるのは誰だっぽ？あいよみんちょまたからみどうぞじゃあみんちょクイズ教えてっぽ
はい私の野望についてです一つがさいちゃんと結婚することそしてもう一つは何でしょうか
待ってさらっと野望がねさいちゃんと結婚することってさらっと言ったっぽね
さて
さあみんちょのマイブームは何ですかっぽ？
はい、みんちょのマイブームは、ミサしか見れないインスタのアカウントをやってるんですけど、自分が
ミサ限定なの？
ミサしか見れないからフォロワーもミサしかいないそのアカウントなんで？それでご飯を作ったら、そこに載せて、で偉いって書いたりしたらミサが偉いねってコメント LINE でやれ
どうしてインスタに作ったっぽ？
こうやってね、ご飯作ったら並んでくじゃん、でそれでちゃんと手料理を作るっていうモチベーションを上げるためにやっております素敵なマイブームだねありがとう
なんでミサ一人なんだっぽ？ミサが先生なの？
ミサはね偉いねって褒めてくれる
からミサを選んだ。なるほどね、絶対ミサちゃんだったらいいねってしてくれるからってこと？はいでそれをさいちゃんには見せないと
見てくれる？あじゃあやっぱミサだけど
じゃあミサちゃんこれからも頑張ってください。
全員いいねしてるから
全員いいね
ありがとう
Okay, like their sisterhood, that's the first time I've seen them interact together as a group. Because even in yesterday's video, there were Psyche was doing the podcast with one of them. I can't remember how to say the name, so I won't butcher it. But they were talking to each other. So I saw some of that interaction, but that's the most I've seen all of them just talking together and interacting. And they really are like sisters. That's really, really cool. Especially now that I know that Psyche was kind of a late ad, and they still all clearly have that kind of camaraderie. Especially when you think, I think you say her name's Misa, like Kanami's sending Misa her Instagram, but like her food to be like, how am I doing? And Misa's automatically supportive. We all need people like that in our life. I love that. That's really cool.
In Kanami's case, her funny talk is not deliberate, but natural. It's like that friend you have who is smart, but naturally strange in a funny way, if that makes sense.
ありがとうございました。
面接じゃないんですよ本当に
Psyche and Miku talked about Kanami during an episode of the radio show Bandmade Nippon.
まずはじゃあギターのかなみちゃん。かなみちゃんもねちょっととても不思議な感じなんですよ。なんだろう、小鳩が多分一番バンドメイドでやばいって
思われてるよ。
思われてるんですけどぽかなみちゃんもなかなかだと小バと思うぽ
それは同感です、
ね同感でしょぽ
なんかねかなみちゃんはあれなんだよね二面性があるっていう
そうだっぽね
言い方していいの？
うんなんか普段は本当にふわふわしててすごくなんだろうほんわかしたねお嬢様みたいな、
お姫様みたい。
あそうだっぽね
おとぎの国のお姫様みたいな
眠ってそう
あそう眠り姫っぽいなんかおしとやかなお姫様って感じなんですけど、
そうだっぽねなんか小鳥たちとかと遊んでそうなイメージだっぽ森の中で
Like, I love how they're so positive towards each other. Like, that's really great. Being like just like they could have been like, oh, she's strange, or I don't really get her, or they could have like totally misinterpreted where she's coming from, and they didn't. They just said she's awesome. Like we love her for who she is. That's really cool. Also, can someone give me an English version of like I'm trying to understand. I understand what Poe means now after yesterday and looking it up and understanding like the context, but I can't place. I'm trying to see like how would that fit into English speaking, and maybe it wouldn't. So please let me know in the comments if it wouldn't. But is that like when I say to someone, "Yo, bro, you're not gonna believe this," or "Oh, that is so cool, man." Like, is it like saying the man? Is it like another version of just adding a pronoun in there to like kind of drive home like a familiarity? Because that's how I'm kind of taking it, but I can't tell because I don't speak the Japanese, you know? So anyone who can give insight to that, I would greatly appreciate it.
There was also a moment during the US tour in 2022 where Kanami introduced herself for the second time when the crowd was calling her name.
That was adorable. That was awesome.
In senior high school, Kanami joined a popular music club as a keyboardist, but started to learn guitar a few months later after watching a senior classmate play. Kanami wanted to play guitar to look cool in the eyes of the other girls. And it worked.
ギターを弾いてるかなみ先輩ってかっこいいよねって言ってもらえるようになって、それが気持ちよくてずっとギターを弾いてました。
This is the beginning of Kanami's journey as a guitarist. She started to learn the basics by herself without any knowledge or even a band to practice with. At one point, a third-year senior who taught her guitar asked Kanami to join his band composed of classmates. The members gave Kanami songs to learn from bands like Kiss, Metallica, and Deep Purple. But the first song she had to learn was However by Glay.
That is some serious what's it called? That is some serious influence. Those bands are some serious influence. Also, speaks volumes to her musicality and talent that she just went from piano to guitar and like picked it up. I mean, obviously she practiced and became, you know, an expert in it, but that speaks volumes that she was able to do that. One of the things I said at the beginning, because I know all of you were like, you have to listen, you have to watch it all the way through and not make any cuts. The exception to that rule will be music that's not from BandMaid. This looks like it's about to be music from a different artist. I can only show 7 seconds of that without getting struck. So I will probably cut around this music a little bit. I hope that doesn't affect your viewing pleasure of my reaction to the video.
As she was covering more and more songs from Western hard rock bands, Kanami had so much fun that she decided to create her own one-person band, filling all the roles herself.
Wow.
Kanami was not really into the idea of joining as a band, as it's difficult to find one where all the members have the same level of motivation and the same ambitions. This is why Kanami started to learn programming and write her own
Wow.
songs so she wouldn't have to rely on a band. Kanami wanted to enroll in a university of music, but she finally followed her parents' wishes and went to a regular university where she studied economics and management to learn how to promote herself as a professional musician. Even though she was still a student, Kanami worked hard to polish her skills and find her way through the music industry. She built a soundproof room and took singing lessons, even though she didn't really like to sing. Kanami also posted a lot of covers on YouTube and Nico Nico, until one day, someone finally contacted her. Kanami's hard work paid off as she was contacted to join a female rock band.
を最初に見つけて、ね、で見つけてもらって声かけてもらって、どこで見つけるの？ネットで。
Guys, this is so cool. Like, so again, I'm not going to say the name because I'll butcher it, but so the originator who wanted to start the band basically was just on the internet, which is, it's basically how, like, the way bands used to start is you'd put up a flyer or talk to other people who knew other musicians and try to connect that way. She just was watching people jam on the internet, and that's how she found her. And now she's in BandMaid, which is like this kick-ass guitarist for the group. Like, that's, this story's fantastic.
動画をやっぱ弾いてみたみたいなんです上げてて、そこからで私がもともとはシンガーソングライターを弾き語りでこう歌いますみたいなやってたんですけど、バンドじゃなくて。
She met with the management who explained the concept and played songs made for the band. For the MAID outfits, Kanami had already performed in one during a school culture festival, so it was not a problem for her as she really liked the concept. As for the songs, she found that they were cool, so she immediately said yes. Plus, she always wanted to be a lead guitarist and work with a female lead singer without having to sing. From this moment, Kanami was the first member to join BandMaid.
That's awesome.
At the beginning, the songs performed by BandMaid were sent by external songwriters and selected by the members. After listening to the A-side of BandMaid's first single called Ai to Jonetsu no Matadoru, we can imagine that Kanami...
That kind of has like Latin vibes to it, that song. That's crazy. Like the guitar section has kind of a Latin rhythm to it. Sounds awesome. I also love the red. I've never seen them in anything but the black and white. The red really pops. That's really cool.
Kanami mentioned her love for Santana, a famous Mexican guitarist.
Come on. Yo. This is crazy. Like, sorry. I'm just like, usually when I say something about a song or something like that, I don't get an immediate response of being like, oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. So that threw me for a little bit. I guess you could really hear it. And that's why they played. That's why Orange, or however you say their name, put that clip in there, that song, to showcase. See? Matches right up to the Santana thing. I love it.
She found Santana thanks to her father's vinyl collection, as he listened mostly to rock from the 70s and the 80s. Kanami was still a novice in songwriting, but she continued to submit her songs anyway. Although it was really hard for her to keep writing all those songs that were never approved. Thankfully, Kanami had the support of Psyche, who encouraged her to continue to write more and more. While performing the songs provided by the songwriters, Kanami kept on learning and improving until her determination was finally rewarded when, 2 years after their formation, the first ever song written and arranged by BandMaid was released.
So good.
Kanami is the kind of person who has to compose all the time. She loves to create new songs and takes requests from the other members when they have an idea. It's even easier for Kanami this way, as she doesn't have to start from scratch. When she does, Kanami uses a riff or a melody, writes around it, and sends each part to each member, starting with Misa. There are not a lot of directions for Misa to follow except when Kanami wants her to slap or stand out during a specific part of the song. Misa, being a very fast worker, gets her response to Kanami quickly, which means then Kanami can start programming the drums for Akane. At first, Kanami received a lot of feedback from Akane about the drums being impossible or requiring 5 arms, but with time, she improved her programming and wrote difficult but playable drums with the help of Akane. Let's take Black Hole, for example.
でもあそこは最初もっと難しかったんです。これは無理って言われて代わりに出してもらった別パターンを採用してます。辛口とか地獄とか名付けられたパターンを送ってもらったんですけど、確か地獄っていうパターンになったんだと思います。
Kanami wanted Black Hole to be the fastest song possible, but also chaotic, which makes it even harder for Akane. With Akane's drums locked in, Kanami can add the guitars and work with Psyche on the lead vocals. The first demo of a song is actually recorded on a piano by Kanami with her voice as the demo for the vocals, so the song might change completely when Psyche's voice is added. A part of this process was featured in the BandMaid US Tour 2022 documentary, where we can see Kanami presenting her idea for Memorable to Psyche.
Real quick before I get to this, again, love old video like this, where they show you the stuff like as it's being built. It's one of my favorite things about music documentaries, so love that this is being incorporated. Man, Kanami's like a musical tour de force. She's really... like sometimes I feel like, you know, musicians, especially in bands that have made it, they just kind of jam until they see what fits. And she's more, you know, very task oriented, at least from the way it's being described, which is awesome. Like she really sees it. It's clearly something she loves to do, but she takes it seriously like a job and really wants to excel at it. And then became someone who understood all the other components of what needed to make it great. That's so cool.
La 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 la
For backing vocals,
That's dope.
Kanami proposes some of them, Miku and Saiki also propose some others, and finally, their vocal director sometimes gives advice during the recording sessions. The rhythm guitar is something Kanami adds at the end of her writing process. When Miku has to sing, her part is, of course, simplified, but Kanami doesn't think much about this when composing. Talking about Miku, Kanami's way of writing is totally different when she writes a song for Miku, like Sayanakadori. Even though Kanami adopts her writing to Miku's voice, she wants Miku to grow as a singer, so she is always trying to challenge her.
この最後は変えてほしいって小鳩に言われたので、ちょっと成長の意味も込めて変えたら、最初高くて出るかわかんないって言われちゃって、頑張れって。
I'm really taken aback by how positive and supportive they are towards each other. Like, that's really awesome. I just feel like it's one of the, like, I wish we all could be like that, where it's like, hey, you don't think you could do this, or you feel like maybe you're going about this the wrong way or something like that. Here's positive reinforcement to like boost you, and I believe in you and I know that you can do it. That's just such a, I don't know. That's just such a cool and supportive and awesome way to be with people. It just makes me love this band even more.
Kanami has had a lot of different guitars over the years. She has used a Flying V, a Les Paul, and Strat-style guitars. Her first collaboration was with a Dictone, when Kanami was officially endorsed by the brand on May 21st, 2016. Kanami even had her own signature model, the Dictone Modern Series 2.8 Signature, in two colors, red and green. But there
God,
is
I wish
one
I could
brand
play guitar.
that we are used to seeing Kanami with for a few years now. Paul Reed Smith Guitars, or PRS.
Okay. Yo!
At the beginning,
She shreds. She shreds that guitar. Also, I love that you could see her there, her mouth moving with like the bop, bop, bop as she was playing. And I feel like that goes back to when she was probably writing the song or writing that riff or doing that solo, and how she was like hearing it. Like how she was showing us in the old, like the day off home video style thing that we saw before. That's really dope. I'm trying to get out of the practice of saying that someone's like super talented, because it definitely comes from talent, but she's worked at this. Like, she picked up the guitar after the piano. That's so crazy.
beginning of 2017, Kanami switched from a Dictone to PRS, which was not leaving her previous endorser in good terms with BandMAID's management, who was accused of forcing Kanami to switch to PRS guitars. For the release of their first major album called Just Bring It, BandMAID recorded the music video of Don't You Tell Me, where we can see Kanami playing with a brand new PRS 408 Fire Red Burst, borrowed from a guitarist amongst BandMAID staff. One thing for sure, Kanami fell in love with PRS guitars.
もうファーストタッチで、うわ弾きやすい、手に吸い付くってなって、で音的にも特徴的なサウンドじゃないですか。私は特徴が欲しかったんですよね、バンドメイドに。ただ PRS ってしっかり弾かないとちゃんと鳴らないギターなので、今でも結構苦戦してるところがあるんですけど、でもこの PRS を使いこなせるようになったら、きっとどのギターでも使いこなせると思ったので PRS にしました。これだとなりました。直感だったと思います。音も弾き心地もこれがいい。でもしっかり弾かないと音が鳴らないみたいな。難しいけど でもこれっていう感じでした。
Mincho comes from her username from the time she posted videos online, which was Kanamincho. Incho is a suffix to give a cute feel to a name that usually ended with a vowel I. This is how Kanami chose the nickname Kanamincho, then shortened into Mincho. It has been mentioned multiple times by the members that Kanami has a switch when she is playing guitar.
ライブお給仕の時にギターを持ってこうお給仕に臨むと、なんだかこう人格が変わるというか、少しオラオラ系になるみたいで、
急に変わって、すごいこうやってきますマ
ジで
この金見がギター持ってこうやってやってきますから、
急に小鳩のマイク奪ってちょっと話したりとかする時とかもあって、小鳩メンバーたちもすごいびっくりしちゃうみたいな時があります。
身内もびっくりするぐらいなんだ。
でも打ち合わせとか全くなしで、い
つ出てくるかも分からないその時はなんかトランス状態みたいな感じっぽくて、私何やってたっていうのがあって、今日はねシンバルをかかと落とししてたみたいな。
This moment can be seen when the camera is on Kanami right after a short pose. Kanami enters in Mincho mode to focus on her music. Sometimes, Mincho becomes out of control, and it looks like this.
Oh, she's feeling every part of it, man. I love how everybody else just gets out of the way. How awesome is it that music can like affect us like that? The only thing I can relate it to is there are times when singing where you just, if you know the song really well and it's just part of like, it just kind of becomes part of who you are, and you just like, you're not even, your eyes are closed, you're belting, or you're just like, you're in the melody or you're in the harmony, and you just, it's like ethereal. You feel like you're levitating above the music and just living, or like kind of living inside it, above the world but inside the music. It sounds corny, but that's, it's like trance like that. And I just love that music can have that effect on us.
ミンチョはじゃあ最初にタイちゃんに会った時の印象、ミンチョは
記憶あるとこからでいいよ。記憶あるところから。
今記憶ないかもしれないからと。
記憶があるところだとぶっちゃけると、あっちゃんが最初にサイちゃんサイちゃんのことを先にあーちゃんが会ってたから、多分かなみは嫌いなタイプの人だと思うって言われてた。
あったね。
結構それ言ってたね最初。
そうだからすごいビクビクしながら会って、あ、この人かみたいな。でも話したら、あれ普通に話せるってなって、どっちだってなって。
Since Kanami met with Saiki, she can't stop showing how much she loves and admires her. It started with the first music video of Don't You Tell Me, where the personality of each member is highlighted for the first time. Since then, she's always showing her support to Saiki during live performances.
私はすごくボーカルの最近のことが大好きなので、はい、一緒にアコースティックでこうできて。いいんだよ、そんなこと言わなくて。
It's so cute. でしょ。
素敵。
はい。
素敵です。
え？
素敵です。さいちゃんとっても素敵です。ありがとう。
It's been something used by the members for years during MCs. Sometimes, those moments are very sweet. And sometimes, it gives us a memorable moment.
Kanami is Japanese hentai.
Saiki also likes to play this card with Kanami during songs for some funny stage interactions. One thing for sure, with these two on stage, you can expect a lot of emotions coming through their performance as they
I thought that was the end of the sentence. I try to time it to the end of the sentence. I really love, again, the amount of like love and support they show each other is insane. It's just hitting me a lot today. That's so awesome.
as they adore those special moments with just the two of them.
Yeah. And again, I need to hear more of their acoustic stuff. This is so good.
僕たちはきっと形にとらわれてばかりで言葉を探し迷うよりも今はただ抱きしめてもう一度だけ願うほどなんてこんなどうにもでき
Music has been a part of Kanami's life since her childhood, and even if her passion for the guitar started late, Kanami worked hard to master the instrument, songwriting, and song production. Since that moment, every decision she made helped shape the passionate guitarist that we know today. Always impressive when she's on stage with her ability to convey emotions through her guitar, Kanami has moved a lot of fans over the years. From a try-it-all to a do-it-all, Kanami always had the ambitions to break through the music industry. And by joining BandMAID, she was able to improve her play, learn from professional songwriters, and pursue her dream. Thanks to her BandMAID support, Kanami continued to write song after song until they were approved by the management. And since 2016, she is the genius who writes BandMAID's music. Improving and evolving song after song, exploring new territories, challenging her bandmates and herself by making songs that sound good instead of being just easy to play.
でもとにかく音楽には一生関わっていたいなっていうメンバーたちなんですよ、一人一人が。だからそれこそこれから10年後にどうなっているかは正直わからないし、5年後だって見当もつかないんですけど、音楽では絶対つながっていたいって思うメンバーたちですね。もうこのバンド、このメンバーが大好きすぎて、このメンバーと離れるのが絶対嫌だって思うんです。この先も少し立ち止まるような時が来るかもしれないですけど、このメンバーたちに囲まれているからこそ自分は続けられているというか、続けることを目的に続けてきたわけじゃなくて、本当に気づいたら続けられていたっていう感じで入れているのは今のメンバーだからなんだなって思います。
Kanami's path has never been an easy one, but she managed to keep moving forward, destroying every obstacle in her way. Even when she is tired to the point of where she can't barely stand, Kanami will always give everything on stage with the biggest smile. She is a mixture of passion, energy, and joy, who is and always will be full of surprises. Kanami, the genius composer.
Wow. I couldn't stop that one because the music is so good. And they're right. She's such a great composer. That's really awesome. This was another great documentary, guys. I love finding out about them this way. I really, really do. And learning about Kanami, like I have been curious who creates the songs and everything else. I know that he says their birth years at the beginning. I gotta pay attention more because I'm very curious how old they are. So I got to do the math. But this was another great one. Thank you again. Who was it? I think it was BM for Life, right? Yeah, BM for Life. Thank you again for suggesting this one as the next one, and for offering me some buy me a coffee breaks to do it right away. I really appreciate that because I really liked watching this one, and it also allowed me to follow up yesterday's with it. So that's really awesome. Thank you guys so much. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed this one as much as I did. And I really do hope that you take my advice to heart. Don't wait for life to be easy to be happy. And the key there is be happy. Be happy. Just like Kanami. She found a way to turn her passion into happiness. We should all be so lucky.